Hey, what's up, man? Peace and power to everybody out there. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you be. I want to thank y'all for chilling with me on this what is this, Tuesday afternoon. I am the and welcome to my breaktime rambles. This is a sometimes daily um, stream of my random thoughts on boxing, MMA, and all sorts of other whatever else I feel like talking about. Sorry, man, I got a bit of a cold right now, which is weird because I've been wearing this goddamn mask. So where did I get a cold from? Ugh. Yeah, man. So it's a sunny day down here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and it's just really a good day. I'm at work. I would really prefer to be at the beach right now, but work is it right now. I need to get paid. I need money to keep shoes on my chair and feet. Yeah, so I want to talk about. I've been watching the first two episodes, I think, of a three-part series, three-part series called "The Making of Anthony Joshua" on dazn. And I really gotta say, I really like it. You know, I wish it was more parts to the whole. Yo, what up, Black? I really wish it was more parts to the series, and it's just kind of interesting seeing because the reason why I say it should be more parts is because I think it's more that went into the whole Anthony Joshua story. I wish it was a longer, more in-depth thing. Maybe taking it back from when he was going into the Olympics, how he started boxing and so. But they really pick up the documentary from the Dillian White fight, which I guess was the first major Anthony Joshua fight. That was the first major Anthony Joshua fight, and I like that they had him watching the fight, like, and kind of talking about what was happening. And the first episode was basically him just talking about his mindset going into the Dillian White fight, where he was like, yo, I wasn't no, like he said, I wasn't no sportsman them time. I was just a guy from Watford who was just riding the wave, and he was just coming through, fighting. He just wanted to fight, and you could see like I remember the Dillian White fight, the whole build up to that, and I wasn't rooting for Anthony Joshua. I was rooting for Dillian White. You check, and I didn't get a lot of the behind the scenes stuff or whatever because we don't have Sky Sports down here. So what I saw from the whole build up was what I saw after the fact, and you saw just how much, in a way, outwardly, Dillian White seemed to have much more venom towards Anthony Joshua than Joshua had towards him outwardly, right? But then when you really check it out, the venom was really both ways. Just Joshua did a better job at sometimes masking it, which is why I guess Dillian White used to call him fake, right? So the whole build-up was just a lot of animosity and whatnot. And the fight came off like that. It looked like two people who were just having a fight. It wasn't incredibly technical. It was really just a lot of swinging. And I remember Dillian White catching Anthony Joshua. And Joshua had to sort of catch himself and settle himself. What's interesting is that, Jonathan Banks, his name is Jonathan Banks. Jonathan Banks was in the corner for Dillian White. And I had forgotten that. And, seeing him talk about the whole experience and whatnot was really interesting because even some of the commentators were saying, like, even though it was a British domestic fight, it seemed that much bigger because of Anthony Joshua, right? It goes to when, they had a little scuffle, at the end of a round when I think Joshua might have threw a punch late and Dillian White threw another punch. And it was just this big fracas. It was just really well done to see it from somebody's point of view, the person who was actually involved in the fight. It's unfortunate that they didn't get Dillian White to talk about his end of it. It would have given it more context and more, just more information to go on. So if that was episode 1, it was a Dillian White fight. Then the episode 2 was the Vladimir Klitschko fight. I'm surprised they didn't do the Charles Martin one, because that is where that is how Anthony Joshua got the Vladimir Klitschko fight, where Bay was being the IBF champion. And but I guess maybe they didn't have rights to whatever, but they skipped to the Vladimir Klitschko fight. And again, Brian Banks was there. And he was talking about just how amazing the atmosphere was, you know what I'm saying? And just how everything just seemed so grand. And I remember watching that fight. That was the first fight I really, really stood up and took notice of Anthony Joshua. Like, yo, this dude is great. And this was even before the fight happened. Hey, yo, Black, I want to, if you want, jump on with me before I go off. You could jump on with me and we could talk, you know what I'm saying? But Joshua again was saying, like, it was kind of surreal for him because here he is leaving, government subsidized housing, like a council flat, a council estate, driving himself. I mean, driving to, well, maybe somebody driving him, but driving towards the arena to go fight Vladimir Klitschko. He said, look at me pulling up my chest. What's up, Black?
What's up, Chief? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. What do you mean?
Oh, okay, because I'm on the road, man. But you told me to jump on, so I'm here.
Yeah, man. So I just talking about the little mini documentary that the Zone had with Anthony Joshua. So I'm on episode 2. You on site yet?
Am I what?
Did you see the little mini documentary the Zone had with Anthony Joshua?
No, I missed it, bro.
No, it's on still, man. You check it out. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, somebody like Joshua who's saying, like, yo, I'm driving from a council estate, driving up to Wembley Stadium to go fight Vladimir Klitschko in front of 90,000 people. And he's talking about how surreal that was because he don't have no personal chef, he don't have no private gym, he don't have none of that. But I'm just saying, like, imagine somebody in his 19th fight fighting somebody like Vladimir Klitschko. Anthony Joshua had no business being in that fight. Even his coach said he would have liked to have at least 2 more fights before he fought Klitschko. The coach was like, Joshua wasn't ready. That was, Rob McCracken, but the fight was available and they took it. Joshua said, yeah, he would have liked to have had more experience, but if he had waited any longer, Klitschko would have been gone and he wouldn't have got a chance to fight him. So he jumped at the opportunity. And I say that to say, so much of these fighters know are not jumping at opportunities. They keep waiting and waiting and waiting. Where would Anthony Joshua have been today if he didn't fight Vladimir Klitschko in his 19th fight? Right? But a lot of these dudes are not grabbing opportunities as they present themselves. You know what I'm saying? But, I'll let y'all watch the series because it's really interesting to see somebody like Joshua talk about these experiences and whatnot. I would have hoped that the Zone had did it longer, more parts. But this is cool still, a nice start and whatnot. So, Black, what do you think about what I just said in terms of embracing opportunities, bro?
It's amazing that you bring that up, man, because he jumped at the opportunity so young, and now he's at the top of the sport, man. He's the top dog. Yeah. Cash cow, unified, one fight away, one belt away from being undisputed, man, being mentioned with some of the greatest to ever do it. You know what I mean? Right. So, I mean, that's just one of them situations, man. You seize the opportunity. The marinating curse, man, we've talked about this for the last few years, man, how it's not a winning blueprint, not anymore. It may have worked for a couple fights, or a fight or two in the past, but nowadays, man, you gotta jump at the opportunity when it's hot. And AJ did that. When it was hot, he jumped at the fights, and when he got the pressure to, when he started getting a little bit of pressure and a little bit of flame coming towards his way, he like, okay, hell no, I can't do this. I need to get these big fights in, whether Wilder, whether it's Ortiz, whether it's Gerald Miller, anybody, whatever. Oh, I got to go to America, Madison Square Garden. Okay, let me do it. Fuck it. I got to fight Fat Man, president of Fat Man Association, Andy Ruiz. Okay, let's go. So he's at the top, man, because of what you just said, man. He at 19, at a young age, he had that mentality. I'm just gonna be great, and it's sad to say, man, but you got to have some humility to say it. But UK just cut different than Americans, man. I got to keep it a stack, bro. When it comes to this boxing game.
Oh, that's a strong statement, bro.
I mean, you can't say you real, but then hide the truth or you know, twist the facts up just because you don't want to out your people or out your country. Like, nah, man. Like, I've been following this boxing game for a while now, to where UK cut different, man. They don't allow fame and politics and all that stuff to deter them from legacy, and that's what I respect about the UK. With you mentioned Dillian White as well. Like, these guys care more about legacy and their reputation. You feel me? And yeah, you know, if they get stopped or lose or whatever the case, they're gonna lose fighting at the top level, not ducking no smoke. You know,
Right.
so Dillian White lost to Povetkin, but you look at his record, he was fighting top 10 contenders back to back. You know, AJ got, you know, lost to Ruiz, but it was a short replacement opponent. That wasn't the opponent he was initially getting prepared for, and he still took it. He like, hey, okay, give me the next best guy in line, since the cheater Jared Miller can't just shoot a fair one with me, you know. So these guys lost by trying to fight top competition, not trying to avoid top competition and marinate and things like that, you know.
What's interesting is that in that part of the documentary, they didn't use the Sky Sports commentary, and I wish they would have used the Sky Sports, because you would have heard somebody who was a baby and couldn't fight Klitschko at 30 fights, Mr. Deontay Wilder. He was commentating that fight with Anthony Joshua, and Deontay was there, and he had a chance to fight Klitschko, but he was a baby. And I've said it before, Shelly Finkel managed both Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko. Shelly Finkel was in the crowd watching the Klitschko fight with Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, again, jumping at opportunities when they present it to you. Wilder was 30 fights in, yet he couldn't fight Vladimir Klitschko. He was a baby. Joshua is 19. Well, he was 18 fights. The Klitschko fight was his 19th fight. And he was like, yo, I mean, you know, this is my chance. I mean, if I lose, I lose. That's all right. That's cool. Let's go. Right. You know?
UK babies cut different than American babies, I guess, man.
Yeah, well, I don't, you know, Wilder, which I'm gonna go to now, you know, when he was in that back then I was a Wilder fan. And I remember hearing Wilder commentate and how great the atmosphere is, and all complimentary. And then when he left the UK and went back to America, shit changed. Oh, he ducking me, he this, he that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? This man fought somebody that you ain't fight. Again, I was a Deontay Wilder fan them times. And a lot of that shit just kind of turned me off of what, because I was like, bro, how you going to just go and say the man ducking you and whatnot? I think Wilder was offended after that fight because Joshua didn't call him out. Like, Joshua didn't acknowledge him. Like, I think Joshua did give him dap at the table, but when he got on the mic, he told Tyson Fury to get fit, right? He wants to fight Tyson Fury, which is weird because people know saying Joshua scared to say Tyson Fury name. That man has called out told Tyson Fury to get fit in front of thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, all I'm saying is, man, you know, watch the DAZN documentary. I think it's cool. I think DAZN is off to a good start. I would like to see them do this with more of their fighters, maybe with Oscar, maybe with Hopkins, maybe, you know, and do like, who's this? Sporting Advantage, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, Iron Cone? What's up, Black?
All good, man. What's on your mind today, brother?
Nothing much, just chiming in on this whole Wilder situation. Seems like every month or two we get a complete flip-flop of what's actually going on. So I don't know, maybe this one's going to be true. Maybe this one's going to stand and undisputed can get made, but I highly doubt that.
Okay, well, since we are already there, go ahead. Tell me what you hear about Wilder so far.
Say that one more time. My bad. I had it turned down too low.
Well, I was gonna go to the Wilder thing anyway, but since you're already there, go ahead, bro. Tell me about Wilder. What you know? What is it?
Yeah, well, I was listening to what you were just saying, and yeah, I was kind of in the same boat with you, man. Like at first, it wasn't to be a Wilder fan, it wasn't having to be a part of like the scandals with Glovegate or anything like that. It was just like, hey, this guy's got possibly the strongest punch ever in boxing, is what you thought at the time. And then I mean, this past, I'd say 2020, and like even at, towards the end of 2019, it just like everything just changed for him. Like he wasn't that, country boy from, Alabama bringing, the Alabama power down, it just completely changed up. And, so did him. So did he. Like his whole persona changed.
That's right. Yeah, it's just interesting again because after the Joshua fight against Klitschko, that was when like a lot of stuff, like when he got back to America, this dude, it's like somebody got up in his ear and said, look, man, you got to find some way to discredit this dude because right now he's riding high.
Yeah.
And he was beat Klitschko. I think they thought Klitschko was going to beat Joshua, stop all that hype train and all of that. But Joshua was just like, nope, he not going to be denied. He gonna whoop Klitschko. He did. And then Wilder that was the first change. Because before that, he was, the polite guy, all that. When he got back to America, he was like, Joshua ducking me. I think after things really started to go downhill after that, when they didn't get him the Joseph Parker fight and Eddie Hearn out hustled them and got the Joseph Parker fight. That was when shit was like, nah, man, I got to do something about this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And like you were just saying about, he was so respectful before. Like there wasn't a time that he didn't say yes, sir, yes, ma'am, to everybody. It didn't matter who you are. And I don't know. It was sad to see. I do think that, it used to be fun. It was fun when it was like, going back and forth with the whole AJ and Wilder, who was the baddest man. And then, I guess you could say from, way back when, but I would really say it was, when the AJ and had his first loss. Like that was the first time you started to see like I wouldn't say darker side of Wilder, but I would just say like the kind of the pettier side where he's
I agree with you with that. That was when he jumped out and did this whole long ass post on Twitter. Oh, this dude is a fraud. He this. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Anyway, man. So
sometimes fame's not for everybody. Like sometimes, like they say, like the fame changes you, and it becomes true, man. Like, and he's a perfect case of it.
I agree with that, man. That dude has a lot of issues. I think but anyway, Wilder now is apparently in talks, to fight Charles Martin, rumored, right? And it's interesting because it's come out now that the whole mediation, blah blah blah, all this was really about getting some money. It was really about money and being compensated in some way for not fighting Tyson Fury again, right? And the whole narrative started, oh, he's going to get $30 million and et cetera, et cetera. I was like, man, these people are not serious. These Wilder fans make it hard to support Deontay Wilder. He's not getting no $30 million. But it's just interesting that all of this was just mounting up to, okay, how can we get some money? When after he lost to Tyson Fury, people like us was saying, why don't Deontay Wilder accept step-aside money? So to allow Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua to fight for undisputed. Aram would have spoken to Kubrat Pulev, and maybe he would have stepped aside too, right? People were saying Wilder should take step-aside money, allow the fight to happen, and then get the winner next. Wilder fans, no, why should he do that? Why should he accept step-aside money? Ridiculous. Y'all of this, y'all of that. Here we are now, 2021, Deontay Wilder in mediation arbitration to get step-aside money.
Yeah. No, and like the whole thing with, the step-aside, there shouldn't even be step-aside money. Like it shouldn't have even gone this far with it because it's just like, I mean, I know you do have trilogies, in boxing or whatnot, but when these guys at the time, in their careers, like they need to be like, taking other fights. This isn't like you've beaten everybody in the division, and now this is just something that we'll do until a newcomer comes along or something like that. It's these guys are really just holding up a division for no reason. And like you were just saying, I don't even think there should have been a third fight. After the second fight, you take away all the allegations, everything like that. Would there have even been a second fight if this was like two different opponents, or a third fight if this was two different opponents? And that, answer is no. Like there would be no need for one, especially, with all the belts on the line right now. You have another champion that just avenged his, loss to Ruiz. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know why it's like a topic of like conversation of like, oh, let's keep this going for what? Like, what's the purpose of it?
Right. I'm saying, all this, Deontay Wilder's career has been turned into a lot of illusion, mirages. That's why, people used to call him, well, I used to call him the wonderful Wizard of Oz. To the end of the story, they reach to the Wizard of Oz and he's this big, frightening face. But when you pull back the curtain, is this little man behind there pulling levers and all that to make the Wizard of Oz this larger-than-life figure. That's like Shelley Finkel and Deontay Wilder, man. All of this bullshit and all this BS, it has mounted up to nothing. And I'm disappointed that it's got to this. Wilder allowed his pride to get the better of him. All this scandal about Glovegate, all that did was just embarrass Deontay Wilder. But then, does Deontay Wilder still have shame? I don't think so. You can't have shame and be parroting this shit. You didn't even say, look, you know what, man, I was just tripping and, let me walk it back. No, he didn't walk nothing back. This man, look. Now he's in.
I think at the end of the day, when he goes and he's sitting in his bed alone at night, I think he does. I really think he would have taken a different route other than, the way it's going right now. But, like you were saying with the Charles Martin fight, that's what needs to happen, man. Get in the ring with some guy. Go knock somebody out. Bring back, the I don't know, the stigma around you that got you into this position. So I don't know.
Well, you probably can't see it, but I'm sharing the screen here from SI.com with Wilder and Charles Martin, right? So I was reading this one. And you have Shelley Finkel here talking and saying, Shelley Finkel acknowledged that a mediator informed Wilder's team that Fury was refusing to face him. So Tyson Fury really did say he's not going to fight Deontay Wilder again. The plan now, according to Finkel, is to take the case to arbitration. Finkel said the plan is to file for arbitration sometime in the next 2 weeks. Gosh. He goes on to say, and open quote, we're going to go for everything we can, says Finkel. I'm a realist with what I'm up against. We have an agreement. Even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots. He has made more money than he has ever seen. Deontay was very kind to him while he was going through his mental problems. Forget everything else. Morally, he should give him a shot. Sporting advantage, morally, should Deontay Wilder give Tyson Fury his shot?
No, no. This isn't like a game of promises. Like this isn't, or it shouldn't be. A lot of the times it is, but no, there's no. I mean, you can't. When you bring that into boxing, that's when you like start to kind of get these rumors of like, hey, shit's rigged. Like I don't know. That's such a stupid way to put it about like, oh, he was so nice to him for recovering. It's like what does that even mean? Like I don't know. It's kind of. I don't know if that was recent or, how long ago that was from, but, he's kind of been the furthest thing from nice about this whole ordeal. So
what, the interview? This interview was posted 15 hours ago by Chris Mannix.
Yeah, see, then that right there is that's baloney, man. Like, you can't, like, say, like, hey, he was, at this time, he was so nice to Tyson Fury, but, the past year, he's, done nothing but slam his name. So, I don't know. It's kind of
It's crazy, man. I mean, Bob Arum said that Shelly Finkel don't know what he's talking. He said he doubts Shelly Finkel even knows us in the.
I know what Shelly Finkel's talking about as far as like like giving him a shot, and like what he's trying to like sue about is an agreement that went void, I guess, because of what he's going to claim is going to be the pandemic. And what he's trying to do, he's trying to say, okay, so all this money we were supposed to make by waiting and giving you this shot, and all this bullcrap, that's going to be some outrageous figure that somebody will post, and it's not going to all be just for the fighters. That's for, everybody. That's what they're going to try and sue for a large amount.
And that's crazy, man. I mean, I just find it ridiculous that you're sitting here talking about morally this and morally that. Bro, morally, you turn down a shot at undisputed championship for more money. Morally. Ain't nobody care nothing about that, man. Morals. These are the people that was lying on Anthony Joshua, trying to destroy this man's name, knowing that they weren't trying to. They were just trying to tear down a man who was actually trying to fight them, until Deontay let the cat out the bag that he did in fact duck Anthony Joshua. So when we talk about morals, I don't want to hear from Shelly Finkel, who promoted fights in South Africa during the apartheid era. I'm not trying to hear morals from Shelly Finkel. Please. You know what I'm saying? Deontay would have got played. He got players of $100 million. Where was the morality in that? Where was the morality in making a man turn down $100 million potentially? No matter what, you're guaranteed at least 100 million or 120. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I also find it interesting, in that quote that you read about him saying that, this is the largest amount Tyson Fury's ever made. Isn't it the largest amount Deontay Wilder's ever made too?
That's correct, sir.
So that right there is just kind of like, I don't know. You can't really say that type of crap. And if he really did say that, they're in shambles right now. Because Tyson Fury made Deontay Wilder just as much as Deontay Wilder made Tyson Fury, if you want to put it that way.
Hey, man. It's in quotes. So Shelly Finkel said he didn't say it. It's on SI.com, Shelly. Make Chris Mannix take it down, right? All I'm saying is that Deontay Wilder wants to go fight Charles Martin. And I was on with Raphael Dawkins yesterday. And we were talking about the possibility, why didn't he fight Usyk? Since Usyk said he was interested in fighting Deontay Wilder. And
that would be a great fight too.
And I posited that fighting Alexander Usyk would have done more for Deontay Wilder than fighting Charles Martin. Why I say that? Alexander Usyk is at least top 3 in, I think, all the governing bodies. He's mandatory in the WBO. He's like number 2 behind Wilder in the WBC. But we all know the mandatory for the WBC is going to be the winner of Povetkin versus Dillian White too. So if Wilder is trying to get Charles Martin's mandatory spot, that doesn't make sense because the IBF just had their mandatory in Pulev. That mandatory ain't going to be called for another, year maybe? It's not going to be called for another year. So why not fight Usyk, who is mandatory in the WBO, who is number 2 or 3 in the WBA, same thing in the IBF, and number 2 in the WBC, and you could put yourself right back in contention to be somebody to force a mandatory, because I think the WBA is going to be called next. Well, in terms of what Anthony Joshua has, the belts Anthony Joshua has. So I'm thinking, what is the point? But of course, the Wilder fans on that podcast said Charles Martin and Alexander Usyk does the same for Deontay Wilder. I said, hell no. Let me ask you something. Sporting Advantage. Usyk said he was interested in fighting Deontay Wilder. Who would do more for Deontay Wilder to beat, Usyk or Charles Martin? Who would do more for Deontay Wilder?
Oh, it's definitely Usyk. Usyk's a very hot commodity right now in the heavyweight division. He's got a lot of trophies in his cases. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, this is another one of those. This is a clear path to, if you really want to be great and you really want to do things and shake things up again, go out there. You take that Usyk. You make Usyk eat his words, or fight you, whatever. you need to do. But yeah, man, Charles Martin over Usyk, that's crazy.
Well, I guess they're saying that maybe it's easy to make, but Usyk is not signed with Eddie. I think that guy just said it correctly. He says, and Usyk not signed to anyone exclusively, as I understand. That's correct. Usyk is no longer signed to Eddie Hearn. So it's not like you have.
Usyk would be a very easy fight to make. Like he's one of those guys that, like, you know, he claims that he'd fight all three, you know, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder in the same night. And, you know, sometimes I believe him.
Yeah, it's a crazy man. I think he'll travel to America, but you know, people, you know, on the thing Rafi was saying, like, Usyk ain't no great heavyweight. I was like, neither is Charles Martin. I'm saying Usyk, because of his name, because of what comes with it, would benefit Deontay Wilder more to beat him. For instance, like an example is with Callum Smith. I was saying Canelo should fight Callum Smith. Don't fight nobody else. Fight Callum Smith. Why? Callum Smith has more stuff you can get if you beat him. I'm not here to tell anybody that Callum Smith was the best at 168. I don't know that he was the worst. What I do know is that he had the most to offer, the most rewards that come with his name. Ring magazine belt, WBA super champion. He's a Muhammad Ali trophy winner in the World Boxing Super Series, whatever. So if you fight him right away, you get more stuff. If Deontay Wilder fights Usyk, he gets more stuff.
I agree. I agree,
yeah.
Especially, you know, with the Callum Smith part. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but yeah, man, Callum Smith had, you know, a lot to offer. And not only that, is, you know, two of his favorite fighters was Roy Jones Jr. So, you know, he's got to be a good guy.
I'm here to tell you, man. So I'm just saying, like, Deontay Wilder, man, I wish him the best. I'm not sure if they're going to put Wilder versus Martin on pay-per-view. I hope they don't attempt to do that, because that would tank badly. You know what I'm saying? Charles Martin, who said it? I think it was that guy again. He said he thought Charles Martin was in a rebuild process. I'm surprised they took this fight, to be honest. That's true. Charles Martin, in my opinion, should be working on maintaining his IBF status, and getting that title shot again, rebuilding and fighting who he needs to fight in the IBF. Let Deontay Wilder fight himself another opponent, but maybe the chance is there for a big win. I don't know. I don't know how the fight would play out, to be honest. But I think Charles Martin has improved a lot on the Manny Robles, for what I've seen. And I just don't know. I don't know about the choice from Wilder. I think Wilder should really have tried to fight Usyk. I see Usyk now trying to maybe work something out with Joe Joyce, according to Frank Warren. But in my opinion, I think Deontay Wilder should have fought Alexander Usyk as soon as he said Wilder's name. Jump on it.
Yep. Should have done that. You should have. Hey, do you remember that live a while back where you posted his top 5 fights? Was Usyk in there? I forget. I don't even remember at this point.
It was Dillian White.
I remember it was White, AJ. Or no, he didn't have AJ in there.
He didn't have AJ. He didn't have. Yeah. Usyk was in there.
Okay, so I don't know. I definitely think that Usyk's a bigger fight. There's more money in it, and it, you know, like you just said, the only thing that should be in it for you is the path, and Usyk is a direct, you know, path to a title shot.
That's right. I just don't get, you know, the Charles Martin fight. I guess it's easy to make, but man, Deontay Wilder's team is just a shambles, man. It's just a shambles. You knock out Charles Martin. Do you get the IBF mandatory? And if you do, when exactly do you think the IBF mandatory is going to be called? They just satisfied the mandatory Kubrat Pulev. That fight's not going to be called in late 2021? What do you think this is? Sorry, 2022 maybe?
Oh no, that's what they want to do, man. It's like everything. I'm kind of slowly reading into, you know, these conversations that I, you know, seeing between like the promoters, like saying, like hinting at, you know, these potential AJ versus Fury fight, and it's like, you know, I'm seeing like, you know, the summer of 2021, you know, being the date, or, you know, maybe even longer than that. And that to me is just like, you know, that gives me a headache. You know, it's just like, how long are we going to stall this out? To the point where it's just like we're going to get top heavyweights that are ranked in the top, 3 to be even that aren't, going to fight within like 2 years. So I don't like that.
The thing is, at the very least, with Eddie Hearn and them and Bob Arum, they both seem to be on the same, I guess, the same talking point where they're saying it's pretty much done. It's just about getting a venue, So they seem to be doing the work to get the venue and to set it all up. So that's at least promising. It's just disappointing that, again, as you said, there's really no information coming out, but this whole Wilder arbitration, all of this, I don't know how this is going to play out in terms of stalling that fight. I don't think it'll stall the fight. Fury has made it clear he's not going to fight Wilder again. Wilder should have known a cokehead could be a morally questionable character. That's his fault, sir. You trusted a cokehead. If a person chooses to do coke, you have to question that person's morality.
Yeah, that's true. And also by like coming out and saying, hey, we did such a great job while you were going through your lowest times isn't exactly like being nice about
it. but then they act like Tyson Fury didn't help Deontay Wilder. If Tyson Fury didn't come to America to fight Deontay Wilder, he would just still be unknown. Nobody would have known who Deontay Wilder is. Tyson Fury could have stayed in England and fought Joshua. He had that fight over in England. He said no, he want to fight Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Tyson Fury didn't have options. Deontay Wilder didn't have options. You know what I'm saying? He needed Tyson Fury. He needed that fat cokehead.
Yeah, he definitely. Because you're right. They were out of options, really. It was like go to the stable, and they weren't out of options. They could have pulled in Ruiz or something, but then again, it would have just been fighting AJ's leftovers again. So I don't know.
That's right. But hey, man, that's about it from the Wilder talk for me. I don't really have much for the Wilder talk. Anything else you want to say on Deontay Wilder?
No, man. You can move on from it.
Yeah, so the last thing I want to talk about is Andrade. So Andrade was on with Punch Drunk Boxing. And I had liked the interview because he did make some good points. He said, you can't be mad at me if I'm sending offers to people and they keep saying no. It's like I'm sending offers to people, they say no, and then you still mad at me. But nobody's jumping on the people that keep saying no. I was surprised that he revealed that Canelo passed on an extra $5 million to fight him. I'm guessing that was coming from Matchroom to fight him, to go up to fight Sergey Kovalev, and then effectively drop the belt and come right back down, right? So it's just interesting that he revealed that, and that really is disappointing to hear, because you're not going to keep telling me Andrade is boring, Andrade is this, but you were willing to sign to fight Avni Yildirim for the vacant WBC. You know what I'm saying? You went up to fight Kovalev, and I don't even think the Kovalev fight did no great numbers, right? So I'm like, you're not going to keep telling me Andre boring and all this and blase, but you're fighting dudes who just as boring. Rocky Fielding wasn't exciting. You fought him. But in terms of Andre, same way. I realize now that Eddie Hearn has revealed that he is reaching a deal for Billy Joe Saunders to fight Canelo in May, after he fulfills the Avni Yildirim mandatory in February. And it's what I said before on this stream, that Eddie Hearn is working to keep Canelo on the zone, right? I said Billy Joe Saunders is not going to fight Demetrius Andrade knowing he has the Canelo fight on the horizon. It's not going to happen. Billy Joe Saunders ducked Demetrius Andrade twice already. So when Billy Joe was saying he should vacate his 160 belt, I agreed with Andrade that when he said, I do not trust Billy Joe Saunders. I am not going to vacate my belt, and Billy Joe Saunders does something else. So said, so done. Billy Joe Saunders is working in the back end for the Canelo fight. Demetrius Andrade has a right not to trust Billy Joe Saunders at all. You don't trust people who have ducked you twice already, almost destroyed an entire card in America because they can't stay off pets. So Demetrius Andrade has been ordered, and I had a feeling that the WBO was going to order the fight with Liam Williams, because just before that I saw the interview with Liam Williams, and he said by tonight, on that day, by the same night, that the WBO was going to send some information. Lo and behold, the WBO orders the purse bids for Liam Williams versus Demetrius Andrade. I think Andrade could do worse. Andrade has now fought in like a year and something. Liam Williams is a tough dude, and it's an opportunity for Andrade to make an example out of Liam Williams. Triple G is not interested in fighting Demetrius Andrade. Triple G is interested in fighting Jaime Munguia. Let's not forget Jaime Munguia is actually supposed to be Demetrius Andrade's mandatory, not Liam Williams, right? So Munguia's people are close to getting a fight with Triple G. And we knew out of the two, Triple G would pick Jaime Munguia. So at some point, we have to give the people who are turning down the fights with Andrade a little bit of the same flame that we give Andrade. You can't tell me Billy Joe escaped. You can't tell me it's
exactly
cool
right.
Triple G. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that you're exactly right, man. Like you have, you just went down, the series of problems that Billy Joe's had. This should be an easy division for, Andre to, be a star in, to be the most liked in. And you have Billy's fought recently, Canelo's fought recently, but, Andre hasn't. So you're exactly right about he needs to get into the ring. He needs to become that boogeyman. Like he needs to go in there, like you say, and have a spectacular performance that really puts everybody's eyes out there and says, you know what, Canelo was ducking, because the information's out there. Just like you said, he's going out there and he's saying it himself. Does everybody believe him? No. And nobody, not everyone's going to believe him. But at the same time, if the information's out there and people are still, unsure about it, you've got to get out there and you've got to beat the crap out of some people and let them know that you are the boogeyman and you are the baddest man in the division.
I agree with that. I think Demetrius Andrade need to just say, you know what, cool. The people that do want to fight me, I'm going to make examples out of them. I'm going to, he needs to really stop chasing these dudes, the Charlos and these people, and say, you know what, no problem. I'm going to take my WBO belt, and what I'm going to do to these people who face me is going to make people stand up and take. It's like Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has his WBO belt. He can't get the Spence fighting these people. But you know what he does? Whoever they put in front of him, he destroys them. Absolutely demolishes them. And that's why Terence Crawford's name keeps in people's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So whoever they put in front of Demetrius Andrade, he has to make an example out of these people. He keeps saying and it's not just him saying so. Other fighters always say Demetrius Andrade is a highly skilled guy. So what he needs to do when he fights Liam Williams, make Liam Williams look really, really low caliber. Show people that people like Liam Williams don't belong in the ring with you. These people are beneath you. So he needs to fight at least 3 times this year against whoever I'm not going to hold against Andrade. Whoever they put in front of him, you need to demolish these people. That's my opinion on Andrade.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You need to demolish them. And then after every single fight that you take until you get that fight with Canelo, just say, hey, I had to beat this guy up because Canelo wouldn't, take my fight. But, sitting here and, like talking about, oh, they wouldn't fight me and not fighting. It's just not working out for them.
Exactly. Just fight who they put in front of you, right? There's Chris Eubank Jr. out there now. He's with Sauerland. Sauerland works with Eddie Hearn. If you can't get Triple G this year, fight Chris Eubank Jr. at 160. Clean him out. You know what I'm saying? Try and get the Ryota Murata unification. Try and get that fight. Fight in Japan. That's no problem. But you can't don't bother chasing people like Triple G no more. Them dudes not going to fight you, bro. So fight who's in front of you and make an example out of them. What's up, Angel Santos? That's just my opinion on the whole Demetrius Andrade thing, man. I just don't understand why people don't want to fight this dude. They keep saying he trash. If this dude is so trash, go take the belt off him. And to anybody who wants to tell me anything about what happened at 154 with Andrade, you know, I wasn't aware that Andrade had the WBO at 154, and when it was vacated, Canelo fought for it. If that's the case, that's some sucker shit, right? Because people jump on Andrade for the same thing. When Canelo did it, it's fine. I know, again, I wasn't aware of it, but if it did happen and go, Andrade said it happened, it's sucker shit. So as Andrade said, when I do it, it's a problem. When other people do it, it's fine, right? So all I'm saying is, Andrade need not worry about Canelo no more. Stop worrying about Canelo. You're not at 168. You're at 160. Destroy whoever is at 160 they put in front of you. That's all. That's all I think needs to happen. You know.
Yeah, and it's like you said. You know, they're not. You know, nobody's exactly like answering back at Boo Boo and saying like, "Oh, no, that's not true." And it just kind of goes to show you that, you know, even if it is true, then, you know, just move on, man. Like, Canelo's teams came out and they said they're going to make 168 the division. You know, they're not planning to move down anymore, anything like that. So, yeah, man, this is your chance. This is your chance to really take over things.
I agree with that. The problem is that Andrade's sanctioning body is absolutely garbage. The WBO 160 sanctioning body is trash. Most of these guys don't even have pictures. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have pictures. The only two people are Liam Williams and Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia, they're trying to cash out on Jaime with Triple G. So he got to fight Liam Williams, and he got to make Liam Williams look really stupid. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what he needs to do. That's what should happen. And, you know, it's like you said, you know, even after that, you know, you don't have to get a big fight after this, you know, big win even. You can, you know, go just start cleaning out guys, man. Start showing, you know, don't be a decision machine and, you know, be the boogeyman. But I don't know. There's a lot that's going on with him that I don't agree with. But at the same time, like you said, you know, if he is, you know, getting ducked through money being thrown at people or whatnot, there's nothing we can do about it anymore.
I agree with that. So basically, man, you know, he gonna have to just start dealing with dudes dirty. All right. But as you said, don't make it, you know, every fight 12 rounds, bro. You gotta knock some dudes out. You gotta knock some people out. Okay. But anyway, man, that's all for me. That's my 3 topics for today.
Machines are scary, man. Nobody wants to fight these guys.
That's exactly. So, well, what are you gonna do, man? You know, somebody gotta fight Andrade. Liam Williams has been calling out Andrade. He wants that smoke, and well, I guess he finally got it. So, Andrade has his fight, and we're gonna see how he does. But that's it for me. I don't have nothing else. Sporting Advantage. You know, anything from you?
All right, man. Good live. Appreciate you having me on. I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, man. Peace. Hey, whoever just come in just now late, sorry about that, man. But I got to roll, man. Wander's a duck. The DAZN making Anthony Joshua mini documentary is pretty cool. I like it. And yeah, people ducking Andrade. Peace out.